Hello all and welcome to the 4th Annual Asian Pacific Islander Desi American Graduation Celebration. My name is Marilyn Lowe.
And my name is Tommy Donkel.
And we're the co-president of the Asian American Student Union.
Thank you for hopping on and joining us for the first ever virtual APIDA graduation celebration. Unfortunately, we are unable to celebrate in person due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but we're so excited to have an alternative to celebrate the Asian Pacific Islander Desi American APIDA students here at the University of Iowa, including graduating seniors and outstanding student leaders.
With that being said, I would like to take this time to address the rising acts of harassment, discrimination, and xenophobia of Asian identifying individuals. We're disturbed by the increased level of anti-Asian sentiment and animosity in the Hakka community and nation at large.
This is a reminder to everyone that viruses and other pathogens do not discriminate between hosts based on race, ethnicity, or nationality. We urge everyone to treat each other with respect and kindness because we need more love and compassion in the world.
In that spirit, we are so thrilled to be hosting this event for just only the 4th time in history at the University of Iowa. Our organization, the Asian American Student Union, is fairly new. So a little history to start off the celebration. The APIDA graduation banquet was founded a few years back by some APIDA students on campus. Many marginalized groups such as the African American, Latinx, and Pride communities had graduation celebration at the end of the year, but there wasn't one for the APIDA community. There was no end of the year celebration to recognize the scholars in the APIDA community on campus, and so these pioneers decided that it was time to have a graduation celebration themselves, which became an annual graduation banquet.
The first ever APIDA graduation banquet at the University of Iowa was in 2017. At this time, the Asian American Coalition had already been defunct, so a handful of students went on to plan the banquet without an organization to fall back on. With the generous support from the Center for Diversity and Enrichment, the first ever APIDA graduation banquet was established.
The second year, in 2018, the Asian Pacific American Student Association, known as APASA, had become active, from which was previously known as the Asian American Coalition. This group of dedicated APIDA members worked together to continue the celebration of graduating seniors and outstanding leaders in the APIDA community.
APASA soon later turned into the Asian American Student Union, ASU, as a unity and name of distinction. Our banquet has become the pinnacle cultural event commemorating and honoring outstanding students in the APIDA community.
With that in mind, we would like to thank the organization and entities that helped make this year's celebration possible through their generous support. The Asian Pacific American Cultural Center, the College of Education Diversity Committee, the Division of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, the Pan-Asian Council. And a special thank you to the current executive board for all your hard work that you have put into this year. We would not have done any of this without you, and we appreciate you all.
Again, thank you for bearing with us during these challenging times. Our virtual celebration will include a message from our special keynote speaker, a slideshow view of our graduates, winners of the APIDA Community Awards, a montage of our APIDA events, and an outro from our organization advisor and the coordinator of APAC. We are so excited to showcase all of this, and we hope you stay tuned and continue to watch the rest of the video.
And hopefully we'll be able to meet in person soon.
Enjoy!
Enjoy!
To the class of 2020, thank you for inviting me to share a few words with you. I'm delighted to be a part of your graduation celebration. I've been a part of the University of Iowa community for the past 4 years, teaching at the law school where I'm a legal historian of criminal and constitutional law. This answers one of the questions that I get asked the most from strangers. What do you do for a living? The other question that I often get, and many of you, maybe all of you, have probably gotten this question, is where are you from? My usual answer is, it's complicated. If the person is interested, I'll explain that I was born in South Korea, immigrated to this country at age 5 with my parents, grew up in College Station, Texas, left for the East Coast for college, and became a naturalized citizen during my sophomore year, and spent over a decade in New York City before moving to Iowa City. Because I'm not sure how to answer the question where I'm from, it raises another question that no one asks me except for myself. Who am I? The simplest answer that I can think of is the one that was given to me. I'm an Asian American. I'm not sure of this label. Does Asian American mean anything more than a racial classification? What can we say is the Asian American's place in American society when there is an incredible amount of diversity within this category? So much can be said about this, but I'll share just one insight from my studies in American constitutional history. There have been two different ways of looking at this country's history. One perspective has celebrated a distinctly American freedom, the American way of life, the American dream, starting with the revolutionary victory of democracy against the tyranny of monarchy. The other perspective has highlighted the injustices that have existed from the country's origins, beginning with slavery. Although both perspectives are true, they have been in constant tension. Which story of America should we tell? One way that I've reconciled these two different stories is by seeing a long tradition of struggle to give people from marginalized political, social, economic, racial, and cultural backgrounds the rights of full citizenship. There have been important victories. This country's history is full of both struggle and triumph, so this is a continuing challenge, a constant effort for constitutional outsiders to become constitutional insiders who enjoy the full rights of being an American. When we experience personal setbacks because of our background, when we read about discrimination against Asian Americans, and sadly we are reading more and more stories about attacks against Asian Americans during the COVID-19 pandemic, it is frustrating and upsetting. But what I've learned in my studies is that one of the greatest threats to this country's ideals comes when people give up on pursuing greater justice and equality. It's precisely during these times that we have to claim our rights as Americans. By claiming our rights, I don't mean only courtroom battles. What this looks like will be different for each of us. Let me end by sharing a personal example of what this has meant for me. I entered graduate school to pursue a PhD in legal history, U.S. legal history. About a year or so into my studies, I was given advice to switch to Chinese legal history. If you remember, I'm Korean American. This advice was given with good intentions. The professor believed that by the time I would be on the job market, there would be more demand for Asian legal historians, and jobs for U.S. historians were scarce. The thing is, no one else studying U.S. history got this advice, just me. I tried to pursue Chinese legal history for about a week when I realized it made no sense, and not just because I didn't know Mandarin. I wanted to study U.S. history. That's why I went to graduate school. So I switched back, and I wrote my dissertation about the history of the automobile and the Fourth Amendment, and just last year published a book based on this dissertation, Policing the Open Road, How Cars Transformed American Freedom. The book explores a puzzle that I call the automobile paradox. In American culture, the car symbolized individual freedom. But in American law, driving a car is one of the most policed aspects of everyday life, from traffic laws to traffic stops. The question that the book tries to answer is, how did the meaning of freedom change, such that Americans came to expect and accept a great deal of policing of the very symbol of their freedom? There are no Asian or Asian American characters in the history that I tell, but my background and experience growing up in a small Texas town as a daughter of Korean immigrants who cared more about faith and character than politics, who were traditional in outlook but chose a life of serving others rather than building wealth. This background and experience influence how I think about American culture, society, and law. People often ask me how I got the idea for my book, because I tell a very different story about 20th century U.S. history than anything that has been written before. I can offer a new and different history about our country because growing up as a Korean immigrant in America gave me a different perspective. Readers may not be able to tell from reading my book, but who I am is in there. This is what I mean by claiming our rights as Americans. It means pursuing your dreams without any constraints about what it means to be a hyphenated American. It means feeling confident that you have something to offer because of who you are. Even though you will deal with unanswerable questions and good-intentioned but misguided advice, and it will be frustrating, don't give up. Your graduation is an important first step towards your dream. Congratulations.
class of 2020. Congratulations. I'm Prisma, and I'm the coordinator at the Asian Pacific American Cultural Center, and I've had the greatest opportunity to work with the class of 2020 since I started working in the cultural centers. It's been a journey to get to know you all, see your commitment to growth, change, and development. Many of you started college in the fall of 2016, a time in which I had just graduated at the University of Iowa and was beginning my new journey in the professional world and in graduate school. I began working in the cultural centers and found myself creating connections in the APAC that have ultimately shaped my learning development and passion for student success, all of which can be attributed to you all. After graduating college, there's a strange sense of the unknown. You might feel a loss in your identity as a student, have a strange desire to pull an all-nighter just for the thrill of it, miss eating the pasta in the river room, miss your friends that you saw every day, whether it was in passing, in student organization meetings, or recently in Zoom meetings. There's a sense of, what am I doing? An excitement for all your new free time, and a sense of uncertainty in what's next in your life. For me, it was overwhelming, but I took myself back to the first day of school. When you have no idea what's to come, where you're going, or what you're going to do in between classes, you wake up in your residence hall and you feel as if you're in a brand new environment you're not familiar with. You only know how to get ready and get out the door, and everything else is brand new. Like the first day of kindergarten, the first day of middle school, first day of high school, your first day of college, and now your first day of the professional world. Each day you learn something new, you meet a new acquaintance, you gain a new skill, and eventually you're the pro. So in college, people start asking directions from you. You know all the deals in downtown Iowa City. You can hop on the bus and not get lost. And you're the leader of a student organization that once offered you a home. This is how life's going to be after college. Despite the uncertainty, fear, and nervousness, every day you're going to learn something new, meet someone new, and gain a new skill, until eventually you're the pro, and you begin to realize your dreams and create steps towards your many goals, one small step at a time. I want to end this speech in the same way that I did last year, with saying that no matter where life takes you next, how many times you make mistakes, how many times you have triumphs, or you just don't know what you're doing, how lost you might feel in this big world, know that I'm proud of you, we care about you, and you have a whole community that believes in you and is proud of you. You're always going to have a home at the APAC and at the University of Iowa. We appreciate your hard work, passion, and dedication to making this place great, and have only the greatest faith in you to continue being the amazing humans that you are. We can't wait to see what you do next, and we hope to see you come back to the APAC and celebrate with us. Congratulations, 2020.